Hey, YouTube. Welcome back to Love Chats with Laura. Of course, I am Laura. Today, I wanted to talk about some of on the radio, we all notice that there are a number of female rappers that are really popular and really successful, and they are rapping about things that are very empowering for women. And I wanted to kind of speak on that a little bit because as musical projects and musical presentations, those projects are absolutely, extremely entertaining. The beats are just wonderful. I can't help but, bop my head along with them and sing along with them. But when you actually look at the content of what is in those songs, in those rap songs, and in those videos, you have to be able to distinguish between that which is entertaining and that which is real and substantial. Okay? Now, let me just go back to what happens in a lot of the male rappers' videos. Okay? And I'm going to create an analogy for you, women, about how you should be taking in the messages that these videos are presenting. When you hear, okay, there is one rapper in particular whose music, I mean, I'm 61 darn near, and when that comes on the radio, I'm like, yeah, and in his song, he'll say something like, okay, so this is gonna tell you who it is, okay, okay, like he has this line in there that says, okay, I'm embarrassed. He says, the first blank blank that plays, I'm a body a blank blank. Okay, that means, I guess, he's going to turn him into a body, Okay, now that is certainly not something that a 61-year-old woman such as myself, non-violent woman, and then he said, I have like 32,000 in one pocket, and the other one, that's where the Glock at. And I'm up here in my car singing along. I got 32,000 in one pocket, and the other one, that's where the Glock at. And I'm like, oh my God. And so I don't take that to heart. I don't believe that this guy is actually walking around like bodying N-words and, I'm going to shoot up the store where your mother and your grandmother shop at. It's like, I just don't think that he's out there doing those things. Otherwise, I don't think he would still be out there able to be talking about these things. So a lot of those presentations are, creative presentations, and they are enjoyable. Look, there's a debate about whether they should be talking about this stuff, but whatever, okay? It's out there, and the beats are good, and people like it, okay? And I'm 61 years old, and when I hear it come on the radio, I'm like, oh yeah! So, I also like Meek Mill, too. But anyway, so the females have some wonderful, okay, in terms of the musical presentations and the creative aspect, some nice things out there, they come on there and you bopping your head and you just, going along with it. All right. But the same way that you would not listen to a male rapper talk about, violent activities, shooting people and all of this, that, and the other, and then go out there and say, well, let me just go out here and shoot some N-words, because that's what I feel like doing, because that's what blah, blah is doing. You would never do that. So why would you listen to some of the things that are being presented by the female rappers and be thinking that, oh, well, let me just go right out there because this is the way that it is, and this is the way that I should be handling, my love life, okay? That's what I want to talk about today, okay? Sex and money and the entangling of the two in a transactional way. In other words, when you are speaking of having relationships where you are providing sex and the guy is providing financial benefits to you, that is exactly what that is. That is a transactional relationship. That's a transactional interaction. I wouldn't even call it a relationship. Okay? That is what that is. Okay? And that does not equal a real relationship. Okay? That cannot substitute for a real relationship where you are feeling valued and cherished and treasured and respected and committed to. They are two very, very, very different concepts. Okay? And though financial, transactional sexual relationships can be rewarding for the recipient of the finances, it is not emotionally, it does not take the place of emotional connection. And though women who enjoy those kinds of relationships, women who participate in those kinds of relationships will say that that's all they want out of it and that's what's good for them and all that, they are either receiving their emotional needs are being met in some other situation, or they have convinced themselves that all the fulfillment that they need is coming from the money and they are being fulfilled by the sex, and that is enough to keep them content. I suggest that in reality, that is extremely far from the way that things actually play out for people in their actual lives, okay? The same way that walking down the street shooting people is not a fulfilling way to live your life. It's, having sex with men and waiting for big payoffs and, that even if that can be achieved, which it is rare for that to be achieved, okay, to be perfectly honest, for various reasons, availability of rich enough men, availability of, the opportunity to meet those particular, for those two kinds of people to come together, family considerations, children that might result from those encounters, feelings that might develop as a result of some of those encounters, it's not going to be, as glamorous as it's being presented. So I just wanted to, let's just kind of like put that out there. Maybe it's not necessary, but that's fantasy. And that is not what real relationships look like. In case you didn't know. Okay. That was just, unsolicited advice. You can take it or leave it. Okay. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.